What's up you guys, Sasha here. Today I've got a slightly different video for you. I thought it would be really interesting to go and just give you a few really simple, really quick tips for how you can go make £700 in the next 30 minutes, pretty much literally sat on a sofa. And no, I'm not going to tell you how to do match betting or how you should buy a course or anything pointless like that. Literally just super simple things. Most people probably can do most of this very, very easily. Maybe you can't do one or two of these things. I'm going to talk to you about why, but anyway, let me tell you specifically exactly the things that you can do, but not before I talk about the sponsor for today's video. And the sponsor for today's video is still no sponsor. If somebody wants to sponsor videos about making money, make sure you get in touch, send us an email and we'll talk. By way of a disclaimer, none of this constitutes financial advice. I don't know your circumstances, so I can't provide you financial advice. If you do need financial advice about any of this financial stuff that I'm talking about, go and seek help from a suitably qualified professional. So let's dive right in. The first thing to do, very, very easy when you're just getting started with trying to make a very quick amount of money. Once you sat down on the sofa, you got your laptop, you open up your screen and you go to the cashback website of your preference. I use Topcashback. It doesn't really matter. You can use Quidco. You can use, there's lots of different providers. Everyone has their own favorite. And go and sign up for the American Express Platinum cashback credit card. So there's two different ones. There's an everyday one and a regular one. Depends on how much you're spending. One might be better than the other. I'm going to put a link in the description below where I talk specifically about those two credit cards and which one is better for which purpose. But I went for the one with the £25 annual fee because it pays more cashback. Anyway, so if you go and sign up through Topcashback, again, for every single thing that I'm talking about, I'm going to actually put the steps in the description below with the specific links that you need to use. Go and look through that if you need them. You will get £15 cashback just for clicking from that website to American Express and signing up for that card. So that's £15 to get you started. Once you do get an American Express credit card, all you have to do is go and spend your regular everyday spending onto that credit card. I've assumed that you're going to spend, say, £1,000 for the whole household per month for the next 3 months. So if you put all your groceries or your food shopping or your bills or your utilities, not all utilities will allow you to use a credit card to pay for them. A lot of them will though. So go and put all of that spending on there, any regular ongoing insurance payments, anything else where you can go and use that credit card instead of just your regular debit card or some other credit card that doesn't give you any benefits or any points. That will allow you to go and build up that cashback. That's why you got the card in the first place. So if you just go and spend 3 months at £1,000 a month, you will get £105 worth of cashback. That's net of the fees, because you will earn £125 for the first £2,500 that you spent. Then you'll subtract the £25 annual fee that you had to pay to go and get that credit card in the first place. And then you're going to get an extra £5 for the last 500. So from the £2,500 to the £3,000 that you spent, that will be giving you 1% cash back. So you get an extra £5 for a grand total of 105. So that means by this point, you've earned £120. Next, you have one other benefit from getting a credit card, which lots of people don't really talk about, but that is you can essentially defer having to spend money in your current account on spending that you normally are doing by about a month. Typically what happens when you have a credit card is when you go and spend on that credit card, all the expenditure during the month kind of goes onto the card, and at the end of the cycle, whenever that is, it's different for everybody, you'll get your statement generated. And after the statement is generated, you then have a further 25 days for the direct debit payment to come out, or manual payment if you choose to do so, but direct debit is a lot safer and a better way of doing it. So what that means is on average, you'll have more than a month from the point when you are actually doing the spending on the card to the point when the money comes out of your current account. So what that means is if you previously spent on your current account debit card or cash or any other means that isn't a credit card based, what that means is you were spending money and it was immediately leaving your bank account. Suddenly then, you now have this 30-day period where nothing is going to be coming out of your bank account because it's going onto your credit card. And I am in no way advocating that people borrow money in order to go and make this money. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is suddenly in terms of your cash flow, the amount of money that you are spending for about a 1 month period is going to be zero on all these regular things because it's now going to be deferred by about a month. So what you can do if you continue using that credit card for the next 12 months is go and take that amount of money, so 1 month's worth of spend, and go and do something with it which will actually earn a return on it, because you don't need it for managing the cash flow. Now, if you have debts, if you have other things to do, by all means go and figure out the best way of managing your cash flow. This is not, again, any kind of financial advice, but for the sake of the argument, what you could do, because it's the run up to Christmas, we've got about a month and a bit left before Christmas properly starts, so a lot of people are probably going to be spending a lot more money than average on presents, on travel, maybe, if we're allowed, we'll see, maybe on food, on decorating the house, I don't know, on whatever it is that they're spending their money on. So if I assume that over this period in the run up to Christmas, you are going to go and spend, say, £2,000 in total on everything, not just the Christmas stuff, but also your other regular spend that you will essentially be able to postpone by always being able to pay your credit card bill 30 days or more later than you would otherwise be paying for that money. You can go and take 1 month's worth of that spend and go and put it into some form of an investment or a savings account. Again, there are massive risks involved. There is no certainty about making money, and your money is actually at risk if you're investing, so you could lose it all. But for the sake of the argument here, what you could do is you could go and take that money, stick it into some form of an investment, let's say the S&P 500 or a portfolio of companies that you like, or whatever else. It doesn't really matter as long as you're doing the right thing that's going to give you solid enough returns. And at the moment, the way the market is going and the way that the economy has been for the last 20 or 30 years, it is probable and probably possible to go and make something like 7 to 8% return on that money. Some people quote huge numbers like 12 or 15%. Other people say that you can't make anything more than 4. I mean, I think 7 to 8% is probably a reasonable expectation if you were to keep that money invested for about a 12-month period. So using that assumption, on a £2,000 spend at about 8%, that's about £160 that you're going to be able to go and save. So on top of the 120 that you've already managed to earn previously, that's £280 that you've managed to make just by doing that little exercise. By the way, if you do choose to go and invest this money and go and open an account with Trading 212, you also will get a free share if you use my link below, which is an extra benefit. I haven't actually accounted for it in this, but you will get a free share, and for me they tend to average about £10. That's a nice little extra on top of everything else that I'm mentioning here. But anyway, let's move on with videos. So I'm actually not necessarily advocating any of these, but NatWest, RBS and HSBC will all pay you over £100 to switch your banking to them. And the switch here is, it's not the absolute term. You are allowed to have other bank accounts. It just means that whatever bank account that you choose to switch to it usually has to close. In some cases, the rules are slightly different, so go and read them. What it does mean is you have to go and pay a certain amount of money into that bank account in the first month or 3 or whatever, depending on the terms, and you have to set up at least one direct debit or something like that. But if you go and do that, just go and sign up for a new account, set up direct debit, put your salary in it or some money from some other source, from some other income into it for a month or 2 months or 3 months, you'll be able to get over £100 just for the privilege of spending 10 minutes filling in the forms and setting it up. So that's not bad at all. So I would say on average, depending on which one out of these accounts you choose, you're probably going to get about £120. Some of them actually pay more. You got to decide which one it is that you want. But assuming the £120 average, we're now up to a grand total of £400 earned already. Next, this one's one of my personal favorites. Absolutely everyone has one of those man drawers that is in your kitchen or your utility room or in the lounge. There's that one drawer which has all your old electricals that you just don't know what to do with. There's random wires from gadgets that you no longer own. And very, very often in that drawer, there'll be that phone. The last time 2 or 3 years ago when you upgraded your phone, you will leave your old one lying in that drawer and it'll just be lying there gathering dust, doing absolutely nothing. What you actually can do is you can go and sell that phone. There's loads of different websites out there where you can go and type in the details of your phone, and even something like a 4-year-old iPhone 7, which is what I have, I just went and checked how much one of these is, you will get over £100 for selling one of these on one of those websites. So if we just assume that £100, a lot of people will be very, very surprised by how much their old handset is actually worth. We're up to a grand total of £500 already. And here we come to step number 6, which again, everybody just puts off. Everyone knows they need to do it, but they just put off and they never get around to doing it because it's boring, because it's not very exciting. But anyway, using exactly the same process, exactly the same method that I mentioned earlier, you can go and switch your electric or gas. But instead of using one of those comparison websites or one of those companies that automatically does it for you in order to save you money, you can go and do it yourself. And the benefit there is you can go and get cashback for the process of doing it. So you actually get two benefits. You one, get a much cheaper tariff. In most cases, you'll save a huge amount if you're on a standard tariff or like you haven't changed for several years. You're going to save a ton of money that way, but also you get a load of cashback for the privilege of switching to something that's going to save you money in the first place, which you don't get if you use one of these other companies. So what I would urge you to do is go and use a comparison website of your choice. Go and look up which particular provider is going to offer you the best deal at the moment. Then go back into the Topcashback website or your preferred. I have no affiliation. I'm not sponsored. This video is not paid for in any way. It's just one that I personally use. Go into Topcashback or your particular preferred website. Go and pick the one that you want to pick from the list and click through. Go and sign up and do your switchover. And using very, very conservative estimates, the likelihood is you're going to save over £100 in the next 12 months on just the bills alone for your gas and electric. Some of them will probably tell you that you can save 200 or more, but I'm just using 100 as a conservative estimate. And they all pay over £100 for the privilege of switching. So EDF, Scottish Power, SSE, like all of these big companies are on there. They're all paying over £100 for the privilege of switching. So you might as well go and take that one as well. So once you add the 100 from switching and the 100 from the savings, that's another 200. That's a grand total of £700 that you've just earned. And I wager that you can probably, if you go and just turn off the TV, get your laptop in front of you and just get on it, you can easily do these steps in about 30 minutes and you will have earned £700 that you wouldn't otherwise have had. I hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, make sure you go and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I would really, really appreciate it. If you want more videos about personal finance, about making more money and doing more with the money that you have, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell so you get notifications every single time I release one of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.